My number one piece of relationship advice, you need a code. You need a code, a simplification. Because quite frankly, when you're upset, formulating an articulate sentence where you communicate that it's not about what you think it's about something else, and here is what it really is about. In the heat of battle, that's going to be difficult to tune into that. Can we just simplify it into a code that communicates that? If that's something that we have to communicate a lot, like error, input error, input error. The facts that you think are facts that are informing how you feel about this problem, some of those aren't real facts. So let's just deal with the inaccuracy of that. And then let's reassess how you feel about the situation. We're not trying to minimize how you feel about the situation. We're trying to address which localized thing isn't working that we can resolve. Now, if I can just say run fix, ? That allows you the turn to be able to say no fix, feel. And then that tells me, okay, put my problem solver aside, and this is about heart, this is about empathy, this is about connection. I'm a big believer that almost anything that you want from your partner is able to give you. All it needs doing is discussing it, negotiating it, finding language for it. And codes are really useful for that. Plus, you can have some fun. You can encode certain aspects of your personality into the code. Maybe your favorite movie characters or your favorite musicians can be part of that code system. Like no Jagger. Like you could say no Jagger, and that means I don't want a Mick Jagger energy from you right now. That's not what I want. Right? And so if you want to stay Mick Jagger, go be Mick Jagger in another room, because I've got some stuff I've got to do. And then I'll have some fun with Mick Jagger later on after the show, right? Could save such a lot of headaches in relationships, don't you think? Aren't all arguments ultimately, when they come down to it, a misunderstanding about people's intent, about people's hearts, where they're at, how they feel about you? Those stories, we don't need them. Cut it down. That's the rule. That's part of the game of authenticity. That's part of the discipline of authenticity that I work with. Cut it down. You know, most of these videos, you might still think that they're quite long, but they started out as hour-and-a-half diatribes, and over the course of years, I've slowly cut it down. But in any case, that's a diversion. As a side note, I think that AI is going to be really, really helpful in helping human beings to understand other human beings before things get mental and warlike. Right? I think it's just going to help translate, not just between languages, but between regional cultures, between individual experiences. And so the more that you interact with encoded forms of communication that are quite simple to learn, but that can contain a lot of context, right? If I use the code that I have with my wife, if I use that code with a stranger, they're not really going to understand what I'm talking about. But as long as my wife does, we can save a lot of computing power between us. Power that can go towards parenting, you know, power that can go towards building a business, power that can go towards them, right? So give it a try, invent a code, start with 1 or 2 encoded phrases. Watch the video again if you want to rehear the examples for inspiration. Drop in the comments any ideas that you have about coded phrases that you can use in your relationships starting today. I'd love to read through them. I'll reply to you guys and see what comes through. Take care of yourself, take care of your family as always, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.